Hi friends, I'm with you again to make another card. This is a fold, kind of a twisted Z fold a little bit. I guess it's not exactly a Z fold, but it is a Z with a different spin, I suppose. So I will put the fold lines in the comments later. So this is what it looks like. So we're going to go ahead and get that started. I'll put that up there. The card is, of course, scored for you. So we're going to fold over and then we'll fold this side back. So we should have a, let's see. This piece, the larger piece should be on the bottom and then you'll have your Z over here. So let's score that. I'm going to go ahead and move this out of the way. Well, let's do the two pieces on the inside. So I've got the secret C with the white that will mount on the inside. So we can go ahead and put those two together. I am using seal today. It's a little bit quicker for me. So we'll mount those. Great. And then we'll go ahead and put that. This is the inside of your card. So this is where you would do your writing. And I have made this card a birthday card. Kind of a fun birthday card, I think. So that'll go right here on the inside of the card. Oopsie. There we go. And then we're going to put this piece together here. This is the Designer Series paper. Now I did want to show you that I'm using a lot of the pieces from, or a lot of patterns from this Designer Series paper. Yeah, you can see the bottom. So on this one, I've used some of these squares down here. On another card, I used part of this piece. I've used this piece. And then on the back side of this one is this really lovely stripe. I just love cloud cover. I think it's such a beautiful color. So let's go back to this. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. I cut all of the pieces, but let's mount these two together. So the Designer Series paper that shows the stripes will go on the secret C. And then we're going to tie our ribbon around that. Because for everybody that knows me, I know this is okay, and I love getting cards from everybody, and if I see a ribbon inside the card, I'm grateful to have the card and happy to have the card. For me, my mom taught me how to needle point, and she stressed to me that the back of the needle point is supposed to look as good as the front. So when I see that ribbon, I don't know, it's just a silly, stupid thing of mine. So we're going to go ahead and tie this around. You have your spool of ribbon inside of your little crate that is at your spot on the table. And so you can cut a piece long enough. I like to make sure I have enough ribbon so that it's easy for me to manipulate. So I just I'm going to tie this pretty tight. And then I'm going to you have a little piece of secret C inside of with all of your pieces for this card. And then we're going to go ahead and make this into just a knot. So there we go. Of course I don't like it. So I'm particular and my nails always get in the way. Usually I spin it on the side. I'm trying to do this so it's in the camera correctly, and I'm probably messing that up, but you guys are all great demonstrators, and I know you know how to tie knots. So here we go. Okay. Let's try this again, shall we? That's a little bit better. Great. Now you can move it around a lot, you know, wherever you want that knot. And I just wanted that secret C in there just for a little contrast. So we're gonna go ahead and we'll move this a little bit down here and we'll trim those tails later, but we are gonna put this, we're gonna mount it on dimensionals, okay? So let's do that. What would we do without dimensionals? Oh my goodness. I watched somebody do a video the other day and I forget where they were, but they called them, I think they called them puffies. I thought, oh, that's a cute name. I love it. Puffies. I want to make sure there's enough of them on there so they don't get, so they don't sink. So the card doesn't sink. All right, let's get rid of all of those. Crazy. All righty. We're gonna put that right here. And you will have a little bit of a border of that crumb cake around on the sides and on the top. Oh, there you go. You can scooch that over just a smidge if you'd like. All right. I'm gonna leave those. I like to do my ties, cut my tails at the very end because I like to see where everything lands on the card first. So now we have we have 3 squares of Secret C and 3 squares that I cut out of that large 12 by 12 sheet that I showed you earlier. So we're gonna go ahead and mount those. And I did stamp the birthday already. And I stamped that in Secret C, and I just lined it up on an angle, like equal from the point to the point right here. And it'll go right from the edge to the edge. All right, so let's put these on. I put them on all flat mounted. And the border is pretty tiny, so if it's easier for you to use liquid glue so you can move it around a little bit, then please use your liquid glue. And then here's this one. It's so pretty. These colors are so pretty. Cloud cover being my favorite in this pack. I just think it's such a calming color. Okay, let's see, here we go. Last one. And then we are going to put these on the birthday, oopsie, the birthday and the crumb cake one. We're gonna flat them to the card, because the card is already up on dimensionals. And then when we put the last one on, we're gonna dimensionalize that on top. So we only need to put glue on this half, on the left half. So turn it over, and then, in fact, I think I am gonna use the glue for that. So I'm just gonna use just a little bit here, and then I'm gonna go like that, okay? And we're gonna put it right down here on the point, and then we're gonna put the other point right at the edge of the Secret C, okay? You can move that ribbon out of the way if it's in the way. And then we're gonna do the one on the top. Now, it doesn't matter which side you do because we haven't done anything on it, but just do a diagonal and then the 2 sides with your liquid glue. And then that is the side that you will put up here. And you'll do again, you'll go to from the point And it should just about touch that point, the birthday square. Now you're gonna do dimensionals on this one, and you're gonna dimensionalize this one right on top. So I would say just do a couple right here in the center, and that should be good for you. So let's get those done. Maybe I'm going to do 3. How's that? One can never have, well, I guess one can have too many dimensionals, but one can never have too many dimensionals. All right, so, oh, I did that. Well, we're gonna do this one this way. And then we're gonna put that. So we're gonna just try and line all of our points up. And then all of your triangles should line up here, just about, just eyeball it. That's all I did, just an eyeball thing. All right, now you can go ahead and cut your tails wherever you would like them. And we'll cut this one down here. And we got that pretty even. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe that needs to be a little bit shorter. Have you ever cut one side and went, oh, no, now I have to cut the other one because they don't match? Yes, I've done that before. And I used the dots that were underneath the fold, the white ones. I thought the white ones on this were pretty since we have all this white showing. So I put a large one, whoopsie, down here. Of course, you can put them however you choose, and you can use whichever colors you would like, which is more pleasing to you. There we go. Now, if this knot bugs you and it's too wiggly for you, you can stick a couple of glue dots underneath there and maybe adhere that a little tighter to your card. It doesn't really bother me. So there's your card. I love this card. And then in your packet, you have 6-inch squares of designer series paper that you can use for your envelopes because we do not like naked envelopes. We're just doing the flaps today. Oh dear. Oh, here's them. We're just doing the flaps today, but sometimes I cut a strip and I'll just put a strip down on the bottom. Maybe like a 3/4 inch strip. I like that too sometimes. But I am going to do this today. Let's put this, I think I'm gonna use liquid glue because it looks to me like I need to fill in, put some more adhesive in my seal. Now you could go long ways, this way. I'm gonna go this way, up and down. And then just put that right at the fold. Okay, and then you can turn that over and you can trim that off. There we go. So there's your card and your envelope flap. Love it. And we'll just trim these so that it's kind of cleaned up for later. And thank you, friends. I hope you enjoyed that card. And we will get back to you with another card soon. All right, take care. Bye.